I'm your host, Davina Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits, Dreams Come True with the Right Mindset. Today's presentation is titled Caution, 6 Strong Signs That You Have a Manipulative Partner. A manipulative partner, to begin with, is someone who likes to control you, who will lie to you just to get what they want, will promise you things that they know they have no intention of doing. So, understanding that and recognizing that can help you develop better relationships and get rid of someone who's narcissistic or manipulative and controlling. If you're likely hearing this presentation for one of these two reasons, you thought the title was interesting, or you are trying to figure out if your partner is manipulative. If it's the latter, there is a high chance you are in a scornful and unkind relationship. You're even thinking that your partner could be manipulative is a cause of concern on its own. When you are in love with someone, it can be difficult to spot the manipulative tendencies. So sometimes we need to help from others. Sometimes we overreact to the situation and make irrational conclusions, or it's always best to dig deeper and successfully comprehend the situation. I'm glad that you came across this presentation or this podcast because some of the common signs of a manipulative partner are these. And the 6 signs that you have a manipulative partner are: first, they are passive aggressive. A manipulative partner will show passive aggressive tendencies. They will say one thing when they mean another thing, and often not express themselves clearly, leaving you guessing. They create a tense environment, which is difficult to maneuver as their concerns won't be clear. And here's the thing, even if you're talking to them, they're not going to understand half of what you're saying because they're going to interpret it in the way they want to interpret it. They're not even going to hear what you're saying. Because the issue is not clearly communicated, you will find yourself anxious as you think you are at fault, but not sure for what exactly. They constantly threaten to leave. Threats about leaving the relationship or taking the kids away can be used as a manipulative manner. The person who makes these threats might do so just so that their partner bends over and does what they want you to do, and they walk, and then that causes you to walk on eggshells around them. It creates insecurity in the relationship and makes it challenging to discuss any underlying issues that could be in the relationship. They twist facts. Manipulative people play around with the truth so that it makes them look like the better person. They distort events, gaslight you, and selective recall of an incident, then narrate it in a manner that suits their agenda. They will alter reality in order to confuse you, make themselves look like heroes, or make themselves more vulnerable. No matter how they do this, the goal is usually for you to do what they want, no matter how it makes you feel. And not only will they distort things, but when they talk to other people about you, they will make it sound like you were the one at fault and not them. They isolate you because you love them. They know it will take some time before you notice their manipulative tendencies. However, they are also aware of the fact that your family and friends can see this side of them sooner and help you see it also. To avoid or rather delay this, they will isolate you from all of your loved ones. This way, they know that no one is close enough to know exactly what is happening in the relationship, and you have no one to get a second opinion for. 5. They are always the victim. Manipulative people are never at fault. They are always victims from someone else. They are never wrong, and they will do their best to make sure that you take the blame for their behavior. If they are violent, it's your fault that made them angry and violent. They cheated because you never have the time for them, or something like that. They do this so that you feel terrible and take responsibility for their actions. 6. They compare you to others. When manipulative people use comparison, the motive is almost always shady. They do this so that you feel less and hurt. They will tell you about how their ex was so much better than you, or how you should have been more like somebody else. This will make you feel inadequate. So, how to cope with a manipulative person? Being with someone who is manipulative is draining and exhausting. Manipulation is an abusive tendency that will likely result in you feeling guilty, confused, doubting yourself. Over time, you might find it challenging to form positive relationships because of your past experience. If the material in this presentation has just confirmed one of your greatest fears, don't beat yourself up. You're not alone. It's a good thing that you now know exactly the kind of person that your partner is. You are now in a position to make an informed decision regarding how you move forward. Set firm boundaries. Setting firm boundaries is the first step toward protecting yourself from the manipulative partner. At first, they might try to push and ignore those boundaries, but do your best to remain firm. It might also be helpful to talk to a trusted friend about how you feel and what you think. The other person will be able to tell you what they think based on the observation of your relationship. They are they can also help you with the support that you need to uphold your boundaries. The damage that comes with being manipulated doesn't vanish overnight. You might need to consider therapy with a professional therapist. They will help you through the healing process and provide you with the tools and strategies that you might need. In some cases, being in a manipulative relationship might be doing you more evil than good, and it could be better to entirely have the relationship, or rather, leave the relationship. This might be a difficult decision to make, but we all deserve to be with people we love and who love us. no matter what path you choose to take, always put yourself first. Do what brings you joy and allows the best version of yourself to be flourished using your newfound mindset. Don't let the fear of discomfort of changing your habits stop you from believing that you can develop a business mindset. Remember why you started your path to better yourself as an entrepreneur and allow your why to motivate you through the process. And in the going gets tough, remind yourself that change is yours in just 5 simple steps. Challenge your comfort zone. Find a mentor that you trust. Learn from the failures that you've had. Trust your gut and produce more than you consume. Everyone's path is different, but don't lose sight of the successful professional that you are meant to be. Realize that your true potential and let your newly discovered business mindset empower you through your career. Now, what we're saying here is this: to remember that what happens and why you need to set boundaries is very simple. That when you're around someone that's manipulative, they're that way because this is how not only they control you, but it's also a situation where what they're doing is they are using you in a way where it's taking away the pain they're feeling, or what happens is that they're a very negative person and they have very low self-esteem. So what they're doing is they are using you to beat you over the head to make themselves feel better about themselves. But when you recognize, and often what happens, this is something that I've told people many times, that when you change your behavior and no one else in that family does, what's happening is every member in the family reacts in a certain way or expected to, and that's what makes the family work. But when one person changes and the other people change, they're going to try and pull you back and pull you back. So the best thing you can do is, if in your that unhealthy relationship, get rid of it, even if it's your own family. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen, you're going to end up in a relationship with someone who's exactly like the relationship you had within your family, simply because that's your comfort zone. And we all tend to have to understand that what's the comfort zone, how to change that comfort zone, and how to get beyond that comfort zone.